What's going on, beautiful people? I am Lee Hammett, the diagnosed self-aware narcissist known as mental illness, and welcome to another episode of A Narcissist Explains. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about how some narcissists and toxic people will, start treating you badly once you figure them out. Once you understand who they really are, then the mask comes off. Stay tuned, like, and subscribe. So this person is asking, why do some narcissists start to treat you bad after you stop accepting what they say? And if you're new here, I'm a narcissist. I actually have narcissistic personality disorder. So first of all, I always tell people, don't listen to what people say, watch their actions. Because if you're listening to their words, a lot of times narcissistic people's words and actions don't match up. They'll be telling you one thing and doing something completely different. Always keep an eye on their actions as opposed to the words. To answer your question, a lot of times when you stop listening to a narcissistic person or a toxic person and you stop believing them, they have no more use for you in their life. Because now that you're not listening to me anymore, you've become a hindrance. And now you become an inconvenience to that narcissistic person's life, possibly. So at the end of the day, now, if you're not listening to what that narcissistic person says, you're starting to set boundaries and things like that, typically they just get tired of you now. And once a narcissistic person gets tired of you or you start to look different to them, they start to devalue you and treat you badly. So in conclusion, actions over words. And now when you don't listen to them, you become an inconvenience. So welcome back. You can see I'm at home. Bear with me, y'all. My daughter's in the background. She shaking dominoes. So you could read the text on the screen. It says, why do narcissists start treating you bad when you stop accepting what they say? Y'all heard what I said in the video. Sometimes they have no more use for you. Because if you're not going to, so for a lot of narcissists and toxic people, if you're not going to be compliant, they ignore you. If you're not going to be compliant, if you're not going to do the stuff that they want you to do, then they're going to turn on you. If you're not going to be part of that narcissist's life, if you're not going to do what they say, if you're not going to abide by their rules, if the narcissist, whatever the narcissist says goes, if you're not going to abide by those things and do those things, then sometimes they have no use for you. And sometimes they want to punish you for going outside the realm of how they're thinking, of how they're acting, for challenging them and things like that. A lot of narcissists, toxic people have superiority complexes. So if you're dealing with narcissistic people, if you're thinking about it, if you're dealing with narcissistic people, they have a superiority complex. So if you don't listen to them, if you don't listen to what they say, if you stop accepting what they say, then they're going to kick in that boss mode on you and start treating you like an employee. They're going to go into boss mode and start treating you like a bad employee. They're going to punish you. Sometimes they'll try to make you quit, if you get my drift. They try to make you quit the relationship. They might try to make you quit doing what you're doing and things like that. So a lot of narcissists want control and compliance. And once you start to violate their laws of control and compliance, they typically come at you. They typically want to manipulate you and gaslight you and treat you horribly to get you back into alignment. They start to devalue you. So once this happens right here, once you know who the narcissistic person is, once you know who the narcissist is, then it's kind of on you to make the necessary changes and to take the necessary steps in the right direction to be able to make moves in your life. Because if you don't, guess what happens? You end up getting manipulated, you end up getting gaslit, and you end up staying in the toxic relationship way longer than what you need to be. You end up staying in a relationship way longer than what you need to be. You end up staying around people way longer than what you need to do. So a lot of times you get into these situations with narcissistic people, they'll start to treat you bad, and so if they start to treat you bad and you decide to stay, they think that this treatment and the behaviors that they're exhibiting towards you, they start to think that it's okay to treat you this way. Because why isn't it? You stay with me. Why isn't it okay to treat you this way if you decided to stay with me through, I guess, thick and thin, more thin times than thick times? So a lot of times it falls back into your lap. What are you willing to tolerate? Because if they start treating you badly, because you stop listening to them, because you stop accepting what they say, you reveal their true identity and who they are. Why would they? You know what I mean? Why are you still in my mind? If you know me, you don't like me, don't care about me. Why are you still here? You see what I'm saying? A lot of narcissistic people, types of people, get to that point. They ask you, why are you still here? If I'm such a horrible person, why are you still here? You didn't pull my mask off. You see me for who I really am. Why are you still here? And a lot of people in this situation will answer Lee, well, we love them. That's why we're still there. Of course you do. Nobody questions your love and authenticity for this person. Just curious because they'll ask you this straight up. And in our minds, we're asking this to ourselves, like, why are you still here? You know what I mean? Like, why are you still here? I'm asking people that. Like I said, I know that the trauma bond exists. A lot of people know that the trauma bond exists. Like, we acknowledge that it exists, but the acknowledgement of its existence means that you can defeat it. You can break it. You can be stronger. You can be better. You see what I'm saying? So you have to empower yourself in order to continue to move forward and things like that. You have to empower yourself. You absolutely have to. Baby steps in the right direction help. You know what I mean? So what are you willing to tolerate? Because as a narcissistic person, once I feel like my use for you has run out, then typically next comes the discard phase. Now it's time for me to get rid of you. And sometimes you get the narcissistic person that doesn't know how to act. The narcissistic person that doesn't know how to break up with you. So they start treating you badly to make you break up with them, which is where the reverse discard comes into play. Like, you get a lot of like weak narcissists that can't take, they can't do what they want to do, like leave you and break up with you because they have no use for you. So they force you to be the one to break up with them. They treat you badly enough so that you take action and you break up with them. So guess what happens when you reverse discard yourself though? That narcissistic person can play the victim. Hey, I tried my hardest. They broke up with me. What do you expect me to do? Only thing I can do is try. They left me. What do you expect to do? What are you expecting from me? You get this a lot dealing with narcissistic people though. They start treating you badly because you expose them. Exposure hurts, y'all. Exposure brings shame. SHAME. You exposing a narcissist brings shame to that narcissistic person. Brings a lot of hurt to that narcissistic person. Now they're like, well, Lee, we don't want to hurt them. Yeah, sometimes it's impossible not to hurt the narcissist. Because like we as narcissistic people, a lot of us tend to be extremely hypersensitive to any type of criticism, any type of shame. We tend to be hyper critical. We tend to be hyper, sensitive to that type of stuff. So it hurts. So we tend to do a lot of different stuff. Love you. Almost done. You saying bye-bye? Almost done. You see what I'm saying? But you get a lot of narcissistic people that do this right here, y'all. They just do. Like I said, and the longer you stay in this dynamic. If the longer you stay in this dynamic with this narcissistic person, the more they think that you are okay with the behaviors that they are exhibiting towards you. You see what I'm saying? That's the mindset. I believe we're not okay. I'm just telling you honestly, y'all, that that's the way it goes inside of some of our minds. Like that's how it goes. Like we don't want to be exposed, and when you expose us, you anger us. When you show us, when we understand when we understand that you know who we really are, that's when the rage kicks in. That's when the shame defenses kick in, and you get the backlash of it. So if you're dealing with a narcissist or a toxic person, just understand that sometimes this is the way of the world, y'all. And it's not me trying to be mean. Y'all know that meanness is not in my body. I'm just keeping it as hot as I possibly can, But those, the threat of exposure, the threat of their reputation being ruined and stuff like that. If you're not, I'm gonna end with this last little blurb right here, y'all. Stop listening to what the narcissist says and watch what they do. Actions over words any day of the week. Actions over words any time. So many people are willing to accept words as opposed to accepting actions, and it blows my mind sometimes when you're doing that type of stuff. You're willing to accept the words of this person, but not necessarily the actions of this person. You see what I'm saying? Don't accept the words. Watch the actions. What are they doing? Do they have a precedence and stuff like that? Just watch over me, y'all. So seriously. But anyways, y'all, thank y'all for tuning into another episode. I really, truly appreciate every single one of y'all, because as much as y'all say y'all learn from me, I promise you, I learn even more from you. Thank you so much. Like, subscribe. But the hell, this is out. Peace.